What's up, birds? Lonely birds in the park. Nobody feeding them. They're too hungry to move. Marcus Conte reporting. Good morning here in the apocalyptic New York City, where nobody is around. It's just me. Am I the only one who feels the way I do? Yo! So, Marcus Conte reporting. Good morning. Good morning. Vinny DiMartini in the house. Big Mama. Down here, guess where again? I'm going to go to the hospital over there. That's the story that got you in the door, but that's really not the big story. I'm going to walk over there in a second. It's only a couple of blocks away. But really, the big story is the stimulus, the bankers. I'm here in Zuccotti Park again. I come here to contemplate my life sometimes. Come here to contemplate the past and what happened and what we stand for in 2011. You remember? What's up, CV? Good morning, everybody in the chat. Let some people get here. So we're going to walk over to the New York Presbyterian Hospital. I don't expect much. I think it's, business as usual. It's I don't expect to see people rushing in the door to, I'm dying. Help me. I got COVID. I got COVID-19. Help me. So the frog and the scorpion, you know the story? Fucking. The shit is the frog and the scorpion. I want to talk about the banks. JP Morgan and B of A. There's B of A right on the corner right there. Right? You got a bank on the corner, but those are just local commercial banks. They're not the big, the big enchiladas. They're not the corporate ones. But that's Morgan Stanley building over there. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Just getting started. Let some people get in the room. So we're here in Zuccotti Park, and the story of the scorpion and the frog comes to mind. You know the scorpion and the frog, right? There's a scorpion. He's standing on the side of the bay, or whatever, right? And the water's rising, and he's gonna drown, right? He's gonna fucking drown. And he sees a frog, and he goes, "Excuse me, frog, may I hitch a ride on your back across the water to safety, because I can't swim?" And the frog looks at him and says, "Yeah, but you're a scorpion. If I put you on my back, you'll bite me, and then I'll die." Right? He said, "Yeah, but if I bite you and I'm on your back and we're crossing the water, we'll both die. Right? Why would I do that? Why would I bite you if I'm riding on your back to safety?" And the frog thought about it. The frog said to himself, "Yeah, that's a good point. Scorpion and all, he makes a good point, right?" So the scorpion gets on his back. I know it's an old story, but it's a great story, right? Because it makes a lot of sense if you just bear with it, right? Because it's going to make a lot of sense to what's going on today. So the scorpion, he gets on the frog's back, and they start to move across the water, and they get like midway, right? And the fucking scorpion takes his tail out, and goes, and he poisons the frog, right? And they're fucking sinking, right? They both die, right? They both die. They're up in heaven now. They say to themselves, and the frog says to the scorpion, he says, "Why did you do that? Why did you bite me and kill us both?" And the scorpion said, "I can't help myself. It's my nature. It's what I do." And that's the story of Wall Street. That's the story of the stimulus package that just happened, right? It's fucking scary, right? So, or the other analogy, the straw that... Are we at the point where the straw that broke the camel's back? Who's the frog? Who's the frog? We're the fucking frog in the story, goddammit. And who's the scorpion? It's the banks. The banks, JP Morgan, right? They're the fucking scorpions that they can't be trusted. They're criminals. Jamie Dimon at fucking JP Morgan. Those guys are criminals. Right? Wall Street is a criminal enterprise. It's not even a legitimate casino. And right now it's dead. And during Occupy Wall Street, that was the point, to shut it all down. Right? And that's what we did. That's what has happened. The whole economy has come to a screeching halt. Right? But what comes next? What did the government do? They handed the money to the criminal bankers to distribute. Right? And here's the example, right? So according to the Wall Street Journal, JP Morgan, this is a different story, but they forced their traders to go to work at their Madison Avenue trading floor. 24 people got sick and 65 are in quarantine. 20 employees tested positive for coronavirus. Right? What was their excuse? Why did JP Morgan, what did they say to the public to justify their horrific fucking behavior to put their employees at risk? They said, there are risks to personal health. There are risks to public health. We are called upon to balance, said some idiot at JP Morgan. We are called upon to balance. Balance fucking what? Balance their dick. Right? I'm going to try not to get my ass kicked today. Yesterday was a close call. Well, 2 days ago with the racist Negro in front of the hospital. You remember that guy? Wait, they're going to wait for their lawsuit because I got him on film calling with a racial slur. That's coming. To be continued. So JP Morgan doesn't give a flying fuck about their employees. We recognize how stressful this is for those employees on the front lines who are supporting global markets. Supporting global markets? You mean destroying global markets? They ain't fucking supporting anything. And you can see, man, New York City is just dead. It's fucking dead around here. This is the New York Reserve, by the way. This is apparently under this building right here is one of the largest gold reserves in the world. If you believe it, if you believe it's in there, that's where it would be, right underneath the bank. Now, you can't get near that fuck. You can't get in there. And that's the down the block is the New York Stock Exchange, and it's just a ghost town down here. There's no people. There's nobody. It's just so depressing. So yeah, this is the Federal Reserve right here. So that's JP Morgan putting. That's not the story I wanted to tell you, but that's part of it. As we make our way to New York Presbyterian Hospital, and we'll see if we could see some stuff, see some bodies. Oh yeah, dragging out the dead bodies. That's what they told us, right? It's fucking dead bodies. But so Bank of America, right, is now accepting applications for small businesses that are getting decimated in this crisis. They get decimated. People looking at me like I'm all by myself. Look how beautiful all this. Look at all the bankers, right? Look how beautiful their properties are, and they're all empty because they can't be in them. Oh God, their money is on fire. Look at the bank, man. This is the New York Federal Reserve, right? Apparently, like I said, fact check it while you're there, because I can't. My hands are cold. But fact check it. Apparently, one of the largest gold reserves in the world is down in a vault, they say, underneath this building. And it is a fucking scary looking building. There's really no way in. There's no way in. You couldn't even Spider-Man up the wall. I guess you could, man, if you're good at it. I guess you could. All that gold, right? Fucking going back to a gold reserve, they say. I'm not so sure about that. So I'm trying to make my point here. So Bank of America is accepting applications for small business loans. 35,000 people applied the first day. Now, Bank of America is the second largest bank in the world, and it's prioritizing its own existing clients. You handed the money to bankers, the fucking criminals, right? And that's all the Fed can do. That's their only. So here, the big problem. The big problem is this, right? I've often talked about on this channel the velocity of money, which means that if money hits the real economy, it starts to move around, and that's a good thing. You want money to start changing hands, right? When people hoard money, when you give it to the top 1%, they don't spend it, and you get a very low velocity of money, and then you get a lot of things. You get inflation, you get stagnation, you get all kinds of fucking problems. Stop your car. It's a stop sign, jerk off. People think it's like it's because there's nobody around. It's lawless. It's like you still have to stop at the stop sign, or I'll kick your fucking ass. Anyway, but the velocity of money. So when the billionaires hoard their money and the banks hoard their money, they got $10 trillion and they hoard it, and they say, oh no, we're only going to lend to this one and that one because they're our client. That's not fucking, there's nothing in the law that said that. There's nothing in the bill that Congress passed that said we're going to start picking and choosing who we give the fucking money to. Right? Now, the Fed clearly could have done the right thing and cut the checks directly to people, right? But they didn't do that. What did they do? They gave it to the banks, the 6 large banks, JPM, Chase, BoA, Goldman Sachs probably has a chunk of the fucking change. What a disaster. What a fucking disaster. All right? So that $349 billion that's supposed to get to the goddamn people is now going to be hoarded. Right? Because it's not flowing. Not a penny has gone to the small businesses as of yet. They are choking. So if there's an announcement, open your doors tomorrow, it's like, yeah, good luck, right? What are they going to open? They can't open anything, right? They don't have any money. They don't have Upstart. They're all fucking broke by now. And that's precisely what the banks want to do, because they don't give a shit. They don't care about, how are you? They don't care about the people. They're having that discussion. Oh, that's a nice shot of the Freedom Tower right there. Can you see it? I don't know if you could see it, but the lighting on these cameras are kind of funny. But at the end of the block, oh, you could see the church. No, it's pretty clear that that's the Freedom Tower right there, but the lighting is really weird. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. I'm walking down to New York Presbyterian Hospital, and we're going to just do a quick hospital check. See the ambulances, see if there's any action out in front of the hospital. But we started our journey really where the real problem is, the real fucking mess, as we walk through apocalyptic New York where there's nobody and nothing going on. Right? The real problem is the financial mess. So that $349 billion, right, out of the tens of trillions that Wall Street got or has access to, is not hitting the real economy, nor is any of that unemployment money, because only if you were on unemployment before the catastrophe, before the freeze, then you'll probably continue to get your money. But otherwise, you are fucked. Try to call the number. Try to get through. Try to get access to that unemployment money, which was 26 weeks, plus 13 extended weeks, plus $600 a week for 4 months. You want your money? Fuck you. You can't get through. You can't get through on the phone, right? So that's off the table, right? But velocity of money is dead right now. If all the government has, if their only tool left is to print money, and this is Trump, this is the big man calling it. If all they can do is print money, trying to find a hospital, by the way. I don't come down here often. Hold on a second. Can you see the Freedom Tower? Can you see it? There it is. That's a better shot. Ooh. Walking into a fucking smokestack. Ah, freedom. That's what it's all about, man. We did good in 2001, right? Remember, they knocked our big 2 front teeth out. They knocked our 2 front teeth out, and we built a new one. They took down our 2 front teeth, and we built a big middle finger instead. And there it is. So again, apocalyptic New York. Downtown New York was usually teeming with people. Not a goddamn thing going on down here. So that's what I'm talking about today, is that we did it again. Occupy Wall Street, the idea was to bring the economy to its knees, to a screeching halt. We have that right now. But we have a system of government that all they can do is hand the fucking money over to the banks. And that's a big mistake. Where's the hospital? Do you know? It's right there. I don't know if I want to walk through this. I might lose the signal. I don't know if I can. I'm going to walk around the building. I'm a little lost right now. I'm sorry. I don't come down here often. But anyway, that's what we have right now as we walk around apocalyptic New York. Down here on Fulton Street Station. If you're from New York and you know where we are. Right. Fulton Street, William Street. Everything is here. The stock exchange is down the block. Right. Oh, we're going to try to find the hospital. Excuse me, sir, the hospital is this way? The hospital?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
Yeah, I think I know that.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. So we're going to take a look at the, I know everybody's so anxious to see the hospital. But the real catastrophe, the real disaster area is this stagnation, is this Wall Street freeze. All right? They gave trillions of dollars to JP Morgan and his team. And they're turning around saying, no, we're not going to give the money out because there's not enough in it for us. They said that yesterday. So the Treasury Secretary, the Goldman Sachs guy, Steve Mnuchin, sitting to the right of Trump, says, okay, we'll double it. We'll double your interest so you start loaning out the money. But the money hasn't flown, therefore the velocity of money is stuck. And the system, nothing changes. When people are starving to death, when people are looting because the money won't hit the real economy, even if it's fake and fabricated and make-believe money, people are still going to accept the make-believe money. How we doing? Any buffering going on? Anything? We're right in front of the hospital now. I see it. So, hold on a second. I'll blow my nose. So I'm not being intrusive. I'm just filming peacefully. So you got a lot of this is all hospital over here. New York Presbyterian. Okay. We're in the epicenter of the COVID-19 epidemic, right? And you would expect a little more. What do you got? You got some, EMTs sitting around with their hands in their pockets, hanging out. Everybody's cool, right? It's fucking nothing going on, right? You got a couple of parked ambulances. They don't like they're going in a rush. They're not in a rush to get anywhere. We'll buy a hospital. I haven't heard a single siren. How about you? Did you hear any sirens? I didn't hear any sirens. And for some reason, you got a lot of pushy, rude motherfuckers in this area, around these hospitals. So we're going to be on guard for that. I got my fucking football kick ready. Now, there's some kind of tent over here, and I don't know exactly what it is. And I'm not even going to try to figure it out. Is this the morgue? Is this the freezer room for the dead bodies? The fuck do I know, man? I don't know, man. I'm just some idiot with a joystick, man, walking around trying to figure this shit out, man. So again, Lower Manhattan Hospital, New York Presbyterian. This is the emergency room. There's no lines. What? Talking to me? You're talking to me? Are you talking to me? What's that? I'm standing in the middle of the street, sir. Okay, so I'm walking.
Okay.
All right. And what's the law? There's a law, no filming in the middle of the street in front of a hospital. You're live on YouTube. Okay, that's all. Just be nice and tell me why I have to leave. I'm not allowed to walk in the middle of the street in front of a fucking hospital? All right. Guys, it's just something's up, right? That's what you want to ask, right? In the middle of the street, evidence. I'm walking in the middle of the goddamn street. You can't even get near it. Now what are you going to do? Call the police? Oh, I'm going to call the police. Guy's filming in the middle of the street. So there you saw it, right? Very uptight. Very uptight. You get near the fucking place. And they lose their fucking minds. And that's all you're going to see. But most importantly, you don't see anybody rushing to get in. Oh, here's a freezer truck for the dead bodies. Let's look at their freezer truck. We'll see where they're storing their dead bodies. Again, New York Presbyterian Hospital. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you for listening to my Wall Street rant, because that's really the problem right now. Because this isn't a fucking problem. This is bullshit right here. This is fucking bullshit. So here's another freezer truck. It's just like the one in Brooklyn, right? And if you get a little close, it says, I don't want to get too close to this. You can hear that the truck is on. You can see that it's 34 degrees. All right? It's a freezer truck. It's a fucking morgue. All right? There it is. Allegedly, that's where the dead bodies are going. All right, you got a freezer truck for the dead bodies because they don't know what to do with the dead bodies, because all of a sudden they forgot how to be doctors and medical professionals. All right. And all of a sudden now there's martial law. You're not allowed to walk in the fucking street and film. Come on. So there's I don't want to get too close to it, because I just don't want to get too close. So there's apparently a canopy on the side of the hospital, out in the public, out in the street. Right out in the street. There's the canopy. There's the freezer truck. And most importantly, no action. There's the hospital. A very fine hospital, I imagine. Freezer truck on, 35 degrees, ready to store some. Thank you for the burp. You're welcome. And that's really it, a freezer truck, right? So big deal. So that was the big eye on the hospital. Let's see if we can go around the back and see anything. So the front was very pushy. I'm still standing here. No police came running. I think that guy was a cop. I'm not really sure. He was a housing cop or something. This is the other side of the hospital. Right? Amazing things are happening here, it says. Amazing. New York Presbyterian Hospital. Lower Manhattan Hospital. There's nobody here. This entrance is temporarily closed, it says. This entrance is temporarily closed. Okay. So I walked all the way around the hospital. I think this side of it too is also some kind of medical facility. I don't know. But there it is. If I should die and I should disappear into a black box, a black car, this is where you last saw me. 170 William Street, New York Presbyterian Hospital, Lower Manhattan Hospital. This entrance is closed. What's up, man? So there you go. There's the end of, I walk completely around the hospital. This is an open door right here. This door is alarmed. Any employee opening the door, except in an emergency, is subject to severe disciplinary action. Ooh. Staff entrance. And that's really it. It doesn't look like much of a hospital, right? Hi. Seen a lot of patients today? Oh. I know, you can't talk. I know. Oh, I know, I see. I can read the sign. I saw that. He said it's not for people, it's for employees. You would expect more action, right? Wouldn't you expect more action in front of the hospital? You know, right? It's an epidemic. They shut the economy down. There's not a lot of people dying to get in. You know what I mean? Thank you. Thank you, kind sir. 6 foot rule. I gave him 35 feet, right? So, anyway, that's the big hospital. You see how pushy they get when you come to the front door? Man, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? I was walking in the middle of the street. I was watching my feet. I saw where I was. I'm in the middle of the fucking street. If you don't want people to see what's going on, then you need to build a wall around your fucking place, man. You need to build a wall. Build a wall. Alright? Fuck Mexico wall. Build a wall around the hospitals so nobody can get in. Alright, so Mark's Conte reporting from Lower Manhattan. We did our hospital check. Again, there's still absolutely no evidence that tens of thousands of people are dying. There's 1,000 dead an hour. Whatever the stat is. That's not a corona cough. That's a cough for trying to do the bad guy. The bad guy voice. So anyway, man, this is still apocalyptic New York. It's just dead, empty, man. There's just nothing going on, man. The economy is frozen. This is going to go on, what'd they say, for months? And you're not allowed to open business. Now they got shit going on in the supermarkets where you're not allowed to be 6 feet behind somebody. You're starting to see lines out the door. But where's all the people? Are people, is there a New York order saying that you're not allowed to come out of your house? I don't get it, man. I mean, between you, me, and the hole in the wall, don't tell anybody, but I have city credentials. If these jerk-offs touch me, right, I have credentials. So, right, and that's another story for another day. That guy at the hospital is going to find out that. The fucking guy that called me white privilege. He's going to find out just how privileged I am. Maybe. I don't want it to be vindicative. I just want something in that scenario where you're doing your work. You're out front and you're doing your work. And some asshole tells you, get your white privilege out of here. Get your white privilege out of here. Some black motherfucker, right? And that's not racist. That's what he is, right? He's a black racist. Some black racist telling you, get your white privilege out of here. Why not say, excuse me, sir, you can't film in front of the property like that guy did. And he bowed his head and he walked away. right? Because they know that there's no law. There's no law stating that you can't film. You know, this bullshit, man. They're making shit up, man. That's totalitarian shit. But be aware, be weary of the bankers. I wanted to see, I don't know about you guys, half of you guys watching this probably believe that Trump is doing the right thing and saving the day. When all along, if you've been following this channel, I've been telling you that his ideas of quantitative easing and giving banks 0% interest to flood their economy with fake money and stock buybacks was a bad idea. I've been telling you all along, but you guys keep saying, "Oh no, Trump's got it under control, man. Trump's my man. Vote Trump 2020." Bernie, he's a socialist. He wants to give people health care and he wants to break up the banks. How ridiculous. Right? He wants to help the people. He wants to get the money immediately directly into the hands of the people. He wants to end the insurgency wars, break up the banks, tax the motherfuckers. Can't have that shit. That guy's a socialist. That guy's a socialist, man. He's a communist. All right, we need Trump, man. We need Trump. Quantitative ease the fuck out of everything. All right? Zero interest for banks. Give them the trillions they need that never hits the real economy. And we'll call it a day. Some nice scenery over here. Again, it's very rare that you get to see any of this without so many people. That's the 9/11. Obviously, that's the Freedom Tower, but that's the 9/11 church. And if you remember on 9/11, right on those gates out front, that's where people were hanging up the little signs with pictures of their loved ones saying, "Can you please help us find our loved ones? They're lost. They're walking around, right? They're walking around somewhere and we don't know where they are. Can you help us find them?" And everybody that had any sense knew, they even knew that they were dead. That everyone on 9/11 that was in that building that was somehow not there anymore was dead. That's City Hall up over there. Some of the buildings at City Hall. That is, I believe that building right there is, I'm not really sure. I think it's a family court. It's a courthouse of some sort. And you're looking up Broadway. You're looking up. This is the Canyon of Heroes. And there's nobody here. It's just, this is so much more devastating. There's nobody here and there's nobody in that goddamn hospital choking from corona. Open the fucking economy back up before it's too late. Before the bankers take that 10 trillion and figure out how they're going to stuff it up their ass. Right? Because that's what they're going to do. They're squirreling that money away right now. They're trying to figure out how they're not going to give it to big business, how they're not going to give it to small business. You got to break up the central banks. This is over, man. This should have been over in 2006, in 2008. The idea was to break up the central banks. Here's the graveyard if you want to see it. Right? Before we're all in the fucking grave, maybe we'll get to see some change, you know? Maybe. So if you're joining us late, we did a hospital check over at New York Presbyterian, allegedly one of the biggest hospitals with the most. They're so overrun. There's all kinds of shit going on there. You can't hear anything. There's nothing. There's no you don't hear any ambulances right by a hospital. You don't see any action out front. All you see is a bunch of mean security guards stepping out onto the curb telling you don't film. Don't tell anybody what's going on. Right? But what we really see is everything coming to a screeching halt in downtown Manhattan. Everything. And just because it's Saturday, that doesn't mean there's no action down here. The markets, those fuckers trade, they're here. Right? They're always here. Right? What's going on in these buildings right now, you know? What kind of conversations are they having? How are we gonna fuck over those people? How are we gonna fuck over the little people, the workers? They think they're getting their money. The little people think they're getting their money, you fucking fools. You think that's what they're saying up there? I bet that's what they're saying. I bet that's what they're saying. Oh, this is a nicely decorated police car. Look. Employee assistant unit. Look at this police car. It's pretty interesting. It's all jazzed up in different colors. You've got the employee assistance unit. It's got all the little colors on there. It's pretty cool. I don't know if there's a cop in there. Is there a cop in there? I don't see anybody. Oh, there's nobody in there. Anyway, it's a pretty cool cop car. The cops are pretty invisible these days. I haven't really seen them walking around, you know. What's up, boss? Hey, live on YouTube. Can I talk to you for a second? You mind? Yeah, we're live on YouTube. So, what do you work around here? What are you, doorman or something?
What's going on, everybody?
What's up, man? What's up? You keeping safe from the bug, the killer flu?
I'm trying.
How come they got you working, man? What do you work for? You work for very, very wealthy people, I imagine, right?
No comment.
They got so much money, they doubled your salary to come down here today, right? Something like that, right? I bet. Good for you, man. Good for you. Well, make some coin, man, because people are getting screwed, man. That stimulus money.
Yeah, I know. Right? What channel are you on?
Oh, it's a YouTube channel. It's just my own. It's Marcus Conte. It's not.
People you got on there? Oh,
you got about 150 people watching right now.
Oh, cool.
My name is in the hat. You're cool. You don't have to tell your name or anything, but it's interesting to talk to people. Have you ever seen this area so quiet? It's crazy, right?
Of course.
Right?
Well, no.
9/11.
Take that back.
Were you here for 9/11, or were you too young for that shit? I was here.
No comment.
No comment? Cool, man. Hey, listen, man. Good talking to you, man. Have a good day, man. Make some coin. Tell these rich fuckers to double your salary because that's just the way it should be right now. I don't know what to say to that guy. He's just chilling out, man, having a smoke, man, right? So rich people. He's a doorman. I thought you think rich people are fucking firing their staff, their staff to make their meals and run out and get their food? Hell fucking no, man. Nothing changes in their house. You think the police are going to storm in their house and break up their fucking dinner table and say that there's too many people eating close together? Puh. They'll do that to you, and they'll do that to your mother's wedding or your fucking sister's wedding. But they won't do that to each other. They won't treat each other like that. They just treat the little people like that. There's a cop car. So, getting ready to kill it before the battery dies. Marcus Conte reporting. This is, you're at the Oculus right now in the 9/11 area. It's all shut down over there. That's the, again, the Freedom Tower. And, empty Church Street, nothing. Whole lot of nothing going on. Apocalyptic New York City. Thank you guys all for joining me, man. It's a good time. It's a good time, my brothers and sisters. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. The straw that broke the camel's back. The back has broken. Huh? The scorpion has bit the frog on his back and sunk the duo into the ocean, into the bay where they both drowned to death. Shit is over. See, again, the only difference for the Occupy Wall Street movement, the only thing that was supposed to happen that should have been different, the inevitable crash was going to come. The only thing that should have been different was that the money should have come directly to the people. And that has not happened. The banks are cock-blocking the money right now. Why? Because they're criminal enterprises and they can't be trusted. You can't trust Jamie Dimon. Their business models are to make money for themselves and what used to be called shareholders, because that system is now over. they're not going to make shit for no shareholders because the markets are going to be slowly nationalized and fabricated. There's no more making money for the shareholders. There are no what shareholders? What, the other banks? The banks and the other banks? Here's an ambulance. I'm starting to get my my low battery message, so I'm going to kill it right here. So there's the we'll end it on the heroes. The heroes supposed to be driving around picking up dead bodies and corona victims, but there's really none of that. So that's the word from the on the ground here in New York City. Still don't know many people that have coronavirus. I know one person, a nurse who tested positive, and she's fine. But other than that, man, I haven't, it's not Ecuador. It's not bodies laying in the street. There's nobody rushing the hospital to get in. It's all just, is there a subway fare, somebody asks. Yeah, you still have to pay for the subway. I don't care, whatever. You swipe your way in. I imagine you can jump over the turnstile. Nobody's going to chase you, but we're not going to do that anyway. So Marcus Conte reporting live from downtown Manhattan, where there is nothing to talk about in terms of corona, but there's a whole lot to talk about. There's a whole lot to talk about the banks ripping off the stimulus money. Marcus Conte reporting. Peace out.